Here we are for the July edition of the virtual Zoom tours for the Incubator and Accelerator network, the group for communities that grow entrepreneurs. And this month we are in the wonderful University of West of England. Here we are, University Enterprise Zone, and there's also Student Ventures, which is part of the University of the West of England, which is a huge campus with lots of different academic activities, but with a wide range of different incubation and acceleration activities as well. And I'm going to hand over in a second to one of the brilliant team here who are also Incubator and Accelerator Network members at UE. Here we have Kim Brooks. Kim, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Kim Brooks, and I'm Incubation Manager at LaunchSpace, which is the University of the West of England's graduate incubator, which is located inside the University Enterprise Zone, which I'm about to take you through. Here we are in the University Enterprise Zone. This was the old server factory for Hewlett-Packard, so it's quite industrial in nature. We've come in through a corridor. On our right, half the building is dedicated to the Bristol Robotics lab, which is a joint venture between UE and Bristol University. We've got about 200 postgraduate research students working there, and as you'll see in a minute, a small amount of space on the edge of it which is dedicated to incubation for businesses spinning out of that. On the left there's a significant amount of space, you can't really see much of it at the moment, which is another EU funded project called the Health Tech Hub. And that is an opportunity for SMEs to basically use the university's academic research capabilities and equipment to look into parts of the areas of their business that they'd like to expand on. And coincidentally, and in a very similar vein, on the right here we've got a project that's called Sabre, which is a very similar funding from the EU, but relating to robotics. So any business that would like to look into perhaps roboticizing their production line or doing something like that, we've got lots of technology, advice, support and expertise that you can access for 3 months for that. I'm going to have to get someone to open the door, I think.
That's my pleasure.
Okay, so we're coming into the centre now, and this is what we call the hub. So you can see in the hub, nice shiny space with a cafe. This is the middle of the building really. On the left, and we'll probably go in there in a little while, is LaunchSpace, which is the bit that I manage, which is basically the graduate incubator. Any business with a high-tech, high-growth business proposition can apply to come into LaunchSpace. It offers free residency for 12 months with advice and support. The robotics incubator is kind of over there in the distance, about 20 businesses in there. And this side of the building, rather darkened rooms at the moment with the yellow branding, is branded as Future Space. It is basically serviced office space for businesses that have technologies that are analogous to what the university is doing in the rest of the building, but people pay to actually use that space.
And can we look up at this wonderful roof?
And this is the wonderful roof and the award-winning floor as well. You need to see.
It's an award-winning floor.
The colours actually change in the roof, so it's blue today, which is nice. And an award-winning floor, and I really can't tell you any more about that.
You have to take your word for it.
Yeah. So there you are. So we're now heading into LaunchSpace. You can see on the left some examples of some of the businesses who've either passed through and are on their way. We've actually raised, or our businesses have raised, almost 2 million now in funding in the last 18 months that we've been in operation. So a lot of these businesses have moved on from LaunchSpace and are being successful in other physical locations.
Let me help you.
Thank you. And this is LaunchSpace itself, pretty empty today because actually it's lunchtime. A few people here. And that is basically what we have. So room for 30 businesses. People come in here, some people have teams. We've just had a team of about 9 people who've moved on out of the space, so they occupied a whole central table. People come in at various times of the day. It's 24/7 access, so they can come in at the weekend if that's what they choose, or they can bearing in mind that we don't provide funding as such, some people need to do jobs alongside their entrepreneurial activities. So some people are doing that, so they pop in every now and then. Some people have raised their funding, so they're able to employ people. And we could possibly ask some of the people if they would like to talk with us. Neha, hi. So Neha, it'd be very interesting if you could, in a nutshell, just explain what your business is.
Right, so the business is called Walk to Be, which is a medtech startup aimed to design smart assisted living products. And our first product is a smart walking stick to assist people with Parkinson's who suffer from freezing. So freezing in Parkinson's, like you getting stuck and not being able to walk further. And so the idea was to have something in what they already use. So they use a walking stick to give them stability. So our idea was to make it smart and intelligent, so that it gives a cue while they're walking when they get stuck. So it's like almost having it in a discreet way and kind of still being there to help them. Overall, it's been quite a journey, so because this was the ideas that I had when I started off at UE, well, graduated from UE, so I'm a product designer. And then since then, so I've had support through the enterprise team, and I've been in and out of Future Space just come on recently, it's been a year or two, and I've been in the launch space, and they've helped me kind of move on from having a prototype to actually commercializing the product, which means it's like having the access to the network at the same time having access to the facilities around here and the mentorship, which actually is really important because like when you're on your own as an entrepreneur, it's quite a lonely journey. So it's kind of reflecting and bouncing back ideas, and then sometimes you do need the critical feedback as well, that what you're doing, if it's wrong, you need to kind of rethink, step back. So it's kind of all of it there.
That's great. So you've been working on your pitch deck recently, haven't you? Ready to, so Neha's pitching for funding, so that's kind of the current.
Clearly I haven't practiced my pitch.
No.
That's great.
That's great. Thank you very much.
This is quite an interesting installation. We're looking into, or one of our businesses is looking into aquaponics. And this would be with an application for schools. So while we're in the school holiday period, our entrepreneur is trialling out various methodologies using existing kit that's out there, but she's also, as you see in the middle, 3D printed her own kit, so she's evolving her own aquaponics tree for use by children in schools.
Fantastic. Okay, Mark, why don't you introduce yourself?
Okay. Hi, my name's Mark Corduroy and I'm the incubation manager for the Bristol Robotics Lab hardware incubator.
Thanks, Mark. Why don't you show us the incubator?
So the Bristol Robotics hardware incubator was created about 5 years ago, and it was designed specifically to help companies who wanted to take product to market, electronic product, robotic product, sensor product. And we have a range of companies in here who are developing Internet of Things devices, sensors, which will be essential in the next generation of the Internet 4.0 type revolution. We have robotic companies in here, which goes without saying. And really what we're trying to do is help companies migrate from desktop prototypes into the actual production, manufacture and supply of hardware products. And that's really quite a tricky process because obviously you're into areas of economies of scale and manufacturing techniques which are often quite challenging for early stage companies. And then on top of that, we have the typical business support, investment support that you'd expect from an incubator anywhere.
Now we have Callum, who is going to tell us about his aspect of undergraduate student incubation. Callum, take it away.
Thank you. Hello everybody, I'm Callum Ushadod and I'm one of 3 enterprise advisors here who is responsible for the extracurricular enterprise provision for all of our 30,000 students, and also responsible for our amazing new student ventures space, which consists of incubator hub and retail units. All right then. So this is the first time that we have a space for undergraduate students of all different types and faculties. Just walking through now. Everybody say hello and wave. There we go. Here we go. Here's some of our amazing students. Here we go. So we have space for 45 students to use throughout the year. They can use this as a company address. We run different workshops through here throughout the year. Currently we've got 45 students who are involved in a summer scholarship, which means we give them £1,000 funding, one-to-one enterprise mentoring support, and lots of different ways to get their idea off the ground and connect them with the rest of this university ecosystem.
I run a company called Panda Tea, as you can see here. So I import and retail specialist loose leaf teas, mainly from China at an affordable price. So using this incubator, I've been trying to think about how I can scale the company to make it more of a full-time job rather than just a little project that I've been doing while I've been at university. So thinking about things like subscription boxes, which is more scalable, and kind of forecast sales coming in a bit easier. And yeah, the advice you get from the enterprise advisors and the money have just like enabled me to really boost that and increase the chances that it'll actually succeed rather than me just doing it from home.
And where can people buy your tea right now, Lewis?
www.greenpandatea.com, or come and find us at a market. We're all over the place. Tobacco factory in Bristol, if you're...
Great, thank you.
So here we have our 3 retail units which are open to all of our student body. We've had some fantastic businesses in here over the last year. They get this free initially for 6 weeks. They can extend their stay up to 12 weeks, and then there's an escalator model where they can rent this space for a very cheap fee before potentially tendering if their business grows. Right here now we're in one of the retail units. They get this space blank and they can use and adapt it however they like. We've currently got an amazing terrarium business in here called Jar of Eden. We also have Lamp Co, which converts empty gin bottles and turns them into lamps, and we also have Shriv, who does customized clothing. So there was 3 students who rented this space out. They've had it 6 months now, and they had a great little store with the business school buying 7 terrariums, which was a massive, nice little investment for our students.